I mentioned earlier, the target groups are actually everybody. Smokers, non-smokers, students, teachers. For those of you who are here, I hope you can pass this message to those who are not. To your friends, to your family, even to your neighbors, if you think they are smoking too much and the smoke is coming over the fence. Okay. What are the learning points from this session? Well, of course, for every lecture, we want you to take home a message. So you want to spread the message that you should not indulge in smoking. I also want to clear some misconceptions on smoking. Like some people were saying it's cool, some people say it reduces stress, some people say it improves your performance in exams. Okay? So I want to dispel the myths and also tell you what are the truths about smoking. Effects of second-hand smoke, one of you asked me, I'll be handling that. And the most important message is, if you are not a smoker, don't take up the habit. Okay, the best way to quit smoking is never having to start. Right or not? You don't have to try to quit, right? All of us want a quality, happy life. What is a quality, happy life? You want to have a healthy lifestyle. What we are doing in the hospital is only from the physical part of it, of your health. Our healthy lifestyle actually incorporates 8 aspects. Every one of you here should know what are the 8 aspects of a healthy lifestyle. Number 1 is your emotional health. Emotional health means how well you can cope mentally, emotionally, withstand stress, control anger, right? That is emotional health. Environmental health. How is it your surroundings? Is it clean? Are you having clean water, clean air? Are you being polluted by noise? Are you staying in overcrowded conditions? That also affects your health. And then financial health. Of course, without money, you cannot be very happy. Okay? Everybody needs a certain amount of money. Intellectual health. That's why we are here, right? To realize your intellectual potential so that you can be satisfied with what you aim for in life. Occupational. When you start working, are you able to have a satisfying work atmosphere? Can you get along with others? Are you happy going to work? That is occupational. Physical is what we are talking about, alright? Physical, and that's what I'm going to concentrate on today. Social, do you have friends? Are you a loner? Can you interact with people, right? Or are you feeling like you don't want to mix with anybody all the time? What is it? And finally, spiritual. All of us want to hold on to something, a faith, a belief, a religion, alright? For that will give us inner strength and help us to cope in our times of distress. So remember these 8 aspects of a healthy lifestyle. Just physical health alone is not enough. You won't be happy. You need all together. Having said that, most Malaysians are not living a healthy lifestyle. We have the dubious distinction of topping the rates of diseases in this part of the world. You'll find that 23% of Malaysians are smokers. And 1 in 2 men smoke. And most of them smoke as teenagers. Malaysia is Southeast Asia's fattest nation. I think you know about that, right? We are the fattest in Southeast Asia. 60% of us are either overweight or obese. That's the subject of my next talk, if you'll be kind enough to invite me back. And then, what about emotional health? I think we are too young to get married, or we are not prepared to get married. The divorce rate is very, very high. 33,000 divorces in 2010 alone. Is it we are so stressed that we don't pay attention to our married life to make it a success? What happens when your family breaks down? The whole fabric of society breaks down. And that's why the crime, the abuse, the killing. It is not enough just to control one thing. You have to control your lifestyle. Diabetes, 20.8%, or 1 in 5 adults. We are surrounded by good food. We are too lazy to exercise, right? What happens? You get diabetes very early. Hypertension, even worse. 30% of us are hypertensive. Most of us don't even know we are hypertensive. 60%. And it's a silent killer, because suddenly you'll get stroke and you don't realize it. You say, I was healthy before, why did, suddenly I dropped down and I couldn't move. You drop down and you couldn't move, and this is something. Some just drop dead, and that's the end of it. So you will see that cardiovascular disease or heart disease, cancers, and road traffic accidents are the leading causes of death now. Heart disease is the leading cause of death now. Everybody has heard about heart disease. Everybody wants to protect their heart. But smoking-related diseases, which we are talking about today, include heart disease. I told you just now, when you smoke, not only have you have wrinkled skin, right? You have discolored nails, you have discolored teeth, right? But you have a whole host of other cancers that come in. Mouth cancer, lung cancer, esophageal, your gullet cancer, cervical cancer. There are many cancers that come in with smoking. Besides that, you have what we call short wind sickness, short of breath all the time. The straw test is now chronic lung disease. And not only that, infertility. Somebody mentioned about being a father, right? Infertility, what does it cause? It causes low sperm count in the male, smoking. And it also causes erectile dysfunction. That means you can't perform for the men. Okay? So when we talk about heart disease, everybody knows cholesterol must be good, blood pressure must be good, you must not be fat, don't take so much salt, take a lot of vegetables and fruits, maintain a healthy weight, you have to be active, you have to know how to manage stress, and you have to get enough sleep. How many of you are doing all this? Anybody? I hope most of you are doing most of it, if you can't do all of it. But number 7 is what we are concentrating on, quit smoking. Why? Smokers are 2 to 4 times more likely to get heart disease. And smoking causes your arteries to narrow and makes your blood thick so that it clots easily. And that's where you get a heart attack or a brain attack, a stroke. And the risk of developing heart disease can be cut by half if you stop smoking. That's the message which is very important. Once you stop, half the risk is gone. Recognize anybody here? Especially the one in the center. Even the US president smoked, but he claims that he has stopped now. Not because of any anti-smoking talk, but because the wife won't allow him to. So and this is stopped. Okay? But what we are saying is that it seems to be very cool, isn't it? Very glamorous. Somebody in a position of power who smokes. So if I smoke, will I be like him? Now these are all myths. They are not true. These are what the cigarette companies want us to believe, that you can be like them. It's not like that at all. These are the real images that you should be seeing every day. Look at the teeth, look at the aging, premature aging, and then the blood circulation doesn't reach the toes become black, and they drop off. And finally, we doctors have to amputate their legs. Okay? And finally, the picture in between, what I was talking about COPD, you will be dependent on a ventilator for the rest of your life. Do you want to spend your life in hospital like that? There are many people on ventilators like this, but you are not exposed to them, that's why you don't know. But we see them every day. So take my word for it. This is what a human being looks like if they continue to smoke. They become blind because the blood supply to the eye is gone. They have mouth cancer. The bones become weak, osteoporotic. They have breast cancer, cervical cancer, their legs are gone, and this is what the lung looks like at the end of the lifespan, black. The innocent looking cigarette, everybody has seen a cigarette, contains 599 additives. When you light the cigarette and the cigarette is burning, you are releasing 4,000 chemicals. The most common chemicals released are nicotine and tar. You know what is tar? You use tar for what? Making roads. You are pouring tar into your lungs. You are not making a road inside, are you? But that's what we are doing. If we continue to smoke for 1 year, you are pouring 1 cup of tar into your lungs. And 69% of the chemicals are cancer causing. These are some of the examples of chemicals found in a cigarette. Most of them are industrial solvents and they are cancer causing. One of them is carbon monoxide, which is in the exhaust of vehicles. Arsenic is a poison. Arsenic is a poison. But what is nicotine? Does anybody know what is nicotine originally meant for? Nicotine is an insecticide. If you ask the previous generation, those who were rubber tappers, those who had to go to the toilets which were built halfway in the jungle, they always take a cigarette with them. Why? To keep the mosquitoes away. You don't believe, you ask your grandmother or great-grandmother, they will tell you the same thing. Because it's an insecticide. It's not meant for human beings. And these are the various ways of smoking. Any of them that you don't know? That tobacco is for chewing. That is a rolling cigarette. Your grandfathers used to do that. That is a pipe. This is a cigar. What is that? You know what it is? What is it called? Electronic cigarette. And the other one, which is very popular now in the big towns, including Ipoh, shisha. Shisha, which originates from Turkey and Middle East. But it's very, very popular now, and it contains nicotine. Okay? What you do is you put some nicotine, tobacco at the top, you burn it, and then when you suck, the vapor goes into the container there through the water, which is flavored, and then you suck it in, you get flavored nicotine. If you use this shisha for 1 hour, it's like you smoke 200 cigarettes. Don't think it's harmless. That's why some states have banned shisha smoking, like Perlis, for instance. They have banned. This is an electronic cigarette. Anybody use one? No. Anybody seen one? You're all very good people. When I went to the schools, secondary schools, everybody knew about it. Everybody had bought it. I even have to ask them where they bought it from, how much it cost. They knew. It's about $100 each. And the cartridge cost about $50 each. And you can get it from gift shops in the big towns. Gift shops. And it's very fashionable now. Instead of smoking cigarettes, they smoke this one because their fingers won't get stained. You know, they say it's very clean. You don't have to get rid of cigarette butt. But it is addictive because there is nicotine inside. And it's very expensive. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It is not to be considered as nicotine-free. Some people use it to cut down their dependence on smoking, right? But if you use it to start smoking, then it is wrong. Anyway, it is not recommended by the World Health Organization as a nicotine replacement therapy. We should not use it. From the questions that you asked just now, nicotine is both a stimulant and a relaxant. In low doses, you are stimulated, you become very alert. In high doses, you become very sleepy. It decreases your appetite, so you become slimmer. But when it decreases your appetite, you are not taking in nutrients, so your health suffers. You are not getting a balanced diet. And it increases your metabolism. What does that mean? It means that all your cells are working overtime, burning to produce energy. And what happens then? You become alert, right? But your cells age faster. When the cells age faster, they die faster, and you become older, or look older, much faster. Well, I have to say that it improves your concentration and memory, but only in the short term. And in the long term, it has a sedative, pain-killing effect for those who are depressed. I've already said this earlier. Nicotine is a powerful insecticide. If you inject nicotine into your bloodstream, 50 milligrams can kill you. It can kill you. And if you inhale what you call cigarette smoke, you are taking in 3.2% of carbon monoxide. Whereas if you go out into a busy street in Jalan Bukit Bintang in KL, you are only taking in 1.5% of carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide will displace oxygen from our hemoglobin, which carries all our oxygen to the tissues. So your tissues don't get oxygen, and you'll be prone to heart attack and stroke. And the other important thing is tar. What happens to the tar that you pour into your lungs? They line the walls of your breathing tubes, making them stiff. And finally, they mutate to become cancer of the lung. Just now you all wrote down, it's very cool. You want to be accepted by your friends. You want to reduce stress, maintain weight, and sign of being adult. If you want to be adult, then I think you should be very mature. If you are very mature, you know that smoking is bad for you. There are many other ways of reducing stress other than smoking. You listen to music, take part in physical activities. Even talking to friends over a cup of tea or coffee, that's relaxing. So, smokers are actually losers. What do they lose? They lose their health. That we have agreed, alright? They lose their money because they have to spend a lot of money. But what I'm more concerned is our government is using our taxpayers' money to treat you in hospital because of smoking-related disease. So that money can be put to better use for education, for instance, for building more schools, for your health in other aspects, right? Rather than treating people who are smokers. You lose your respect. Previously, when we see a lady holding a cigarette, we always think they are very loose, right? We think they are ladies of the night, right? Nowadays, I don't know. We dare not think that because there are too many of ladies smoking. You lose your friends. People won't come near you because of the smell. People don't want to be thought of as being loose, so they don't come near you, and you lose your looks. Why do you lose your freedom? Because there are many areas where they say no smoking. When you go to the airport, you cannot smoke, right? When you go to the theater, you cannot smoke. When you go to the hospital, you cannot smoke. So you don't have freedom. If you've got to go to such places, you have to stop smoking. Might as well stop altogether. And of course, you lose your dignity because many of you have written the answers there. You're stupid. Okay? So, smoking is an addiction. Just like alcohol, just like drugs, it's an addiction. Then how do you quit smoking? You can quit smoking by what we say cold turkey. Cold turkey means what? Cold turkey means just you say, I want to stop. You don't do anything else. You just stop like that. Today you say, I want to stop, you start not smoking. That's the most difficult thing to do. Most people fail. But you can reduce your nicotine intake gradually over time. You ask me whether there are methods of reducing gradually. Yes, there are methods. You can either use medication which contain nicotine, or some medication which don't contain nicotine, but they tell the brain that it's not enjoyable to smoke. Then your brain, whether you smoke or not, doesn't make a difference, you will stop. There are two types of medication: nicotine replacement and non-nicotine medication. Of course, you can use other techniques like nicotine support group. We from Fatima Hospital, from the client support, are a support group for people who want to quit. You can come and see us anytime. Other methods are like hypnosis, counseling, acupuncture, Chinese acupuncture. Now these are the medication I told you about. You can see that there is Nicorette gum, there's lozenges, there are patches you can put on your body. They deliver a small dose of nicotine, but that dose is not enough to make you addicted, but it makes you feel as though you don't need the cigarette so badly. Okay? And of course, bupropion and varenicline, those are non-nicotine containing drugs that tells your brain smoking is not enjoyable. After a while, you will stop. So all this medication is available in Malaysia. But you must have a plan. You must have a plan. Maybe the first step in your plan is today, where you say you want to stop smoking. And then you must tell people of your plan so that they can support you. And then you must make sure that you know how to prepare for withdrawal symptoms. That's what we told you about the nicotine replacement and the non-nicotine medication. And you must remove all cigarettes from your sight, whether at home, at your workplace, or even in your car. And finally, if you can't cope with that, talk to your doctor about how best you can do it. Of course, you have symptoms of withdrawal, like you withdraw from anything, even withdraw from coffee, you feel uneasy, you feel irritable, unhappy. Those are normal, but they are temporary. Try not to go near places or situations that will want to make you to smoke. Like if you go to, if you are alone, very lonely, you will think of smoking. If you go to a place where everybody is drinking alcohol, usually you want to start smoking with them as well. And you must avoid other smokers. And certain situations want to make you start smoking, like after a meal, when you are driving, right? So those situations, you must have other methods to cut smoking, like taking a sweet, like listening to music, but don't concentrate on your cigarette. What happens if you try to quit but you fail? Never mind, try again. In our client support and counseling center, 25% of those who want to quit succeed. The rest fail. Only 25%. But that doesn't mean the other 75%, there's no help for them. They try again. So keep trying, maybe the various therapies until you succeed. There are various methods for you to try. And finally, the best way to beat smoking is not only to quit, but never to start. That is my take-home message. Thank you very much.